The CEO never believed in love until a little girl called him daddy for the first time. Before this story begins, tell me in the comments, do you believe a single moment can change someone's heart forever? What if it came from a child you didn't even know existed? Ethan Cole was the kind of man who didn't just build walls, he built fortresses. At 38, the billionaire tech CEO had everything people thought they wanted: power, luxury, and influence. Yet his penthouse apartment felt as empty as the life he lived. Ethan didn't do family. He didn't do love. Years ago, a betrayal had turned him cold. The kind of betrayal that made him vow never to trust again. Feelings, he used to say in interviews, are a liability in business and in life. But on a rainy Tuesday morning, fate sent him something no business deal could prepare him for. The elevator doors to his company lobby slid open, and in walked a woman he didn't recognize. Slender, poised, but with eyes that carried a storm. Beside her was a little girl clutching a worn-out teddy bear. The child's shoes squeaked on the marble floor as she stared up at Ethan like she knew him. And then, without hesitation, the little girl smiled and said, "Hi, Daddy." The entire lobby went silent. Even the security guards froze mid-step. Ethan's chest tightened, but he forced out a cold laugh. "I think you've made a mistake." The woman's jaw set, her voice steady but sharp. "No, Mr. Cole, the mistake was yours 7 years ago." If you were Ethan, would you walk away or demand answers right there in front of everyone? Comment your answer before we reveal what happened next. Ethan's board members often said he could dismantle a hostile takeover without breaking a sweat. Yet right now, in the middle of his own lobby, he felt a rare and dangerous thing: his composure slipping. The woman stepped closer, her heels clicking against the marble. 7 years ago, in Paris, you remember. Her words weren't a question, they were an indictment. Ethan's mind flicked back, uninvited, to a charity gala under the glittering lights of the Hotel du Louvre. Champagne. A fleeting weekend with a woman whose name he'd never forgotten, Sophia Hayes. She was standing in front of him now, looking older, sharper, and angrier. But it was the girl that made him uneasy. She had his eyes, his exact shade of stormy blue. "You think showing up here changes anything?" he said, keeping his voice low enough for her to hear. "If this is about money..." Sophia's hand shot up. "Don't you dare reduce her to a transaction!" Her tone cut through him like glass. "This is not about money, Ethan. This is about you abandoning what you created." A murmur rippled through the lobby. Employees were pretending to check their phones but were clearly listening. The little girl, Ava, shifted her weight, hugging her teddy closer. "Mommy, can we go home now?" she whispered. Ethan's pulse quickened. He had handled billion-dollar crises with less tension than this moment. "I want a test," he said finally. "Today." Sophia's lips curved into something between a smirk and a grimace. "You think you came here without proof." She reached into her bag, pulling out a neatly folded envelope with his name written in bold ink. "It's all in here. The question is, what will you do once you know?" Ethan's office was a glass fortress overlooking the city, but it felt suffocating now. He sat behind his desk, the envelope heavy in his hand. Sophia stood across from him, arms folded, while Ava wandered to the corner, fascinated by the miniature bonsai on his shelf. Inside the envelope was a single sheet, a certified paternity test. His name, her name, 99.9% probability. He exhaled slowly, as if the truth had been waiting for years to crash into him. "You should have told me," he said. I did try, Sophia replied, her voice trembling now. Twice. Both times your assistant said you were too busy, and when I sent a letter, I got a call from your legal team threatening me if I persisted in personal contact. Ethan froze. His assistant, Marcus, loyal, efficient, and clearly capable of erasing inconvenient problems before they reached his desk. The realization hit him like ice water. Someone in this company had decided for him that he didn't need to know about his own daughter. Ava's small voice cut through the tension. Daddy? It was the second time she'd said it, and this time, he didn't correct her. His phone buzzed with a reminder. Board meeting in 10 minutes. He muted it without a glance. Ethan looked up at Sophia. If what you're saying is true, someone in this company has been lying to both of us, and I'm going to find out who. Sophia's eyes narrowed. Do that, but remember, you're not the only one who gets to decide how this ends. Outside his window, the rain had stopped. But inside, the storm was only beginning. Ethan didn't go to the board meeting. Instead, he called Marcus into his office. Marcus entered with his usual polished calm. You wanted to see me, sir? Ethan didn't look up from the paternity test still on his desk. 7 years ago, a woman named Sophia Hayes tried to contact me, twice. You intercepted her. Marcus's expression barely flickered, but Ethan had negotiated too many billion-dollar deals not to spot the microsecond of panic. I don't recall the specifics. We get hundreds of requests. Don't lie to me. Ethan's dropped his voice to a lethal calm. You buried the truth about my daughter. Marcus finally broke eye contact. Sir, I was protecting you. Back then, you had just signed the Coltech-Zephyr merger. Any personal scandal would have... That was my decision to make. Ethan slammed a hand on the desk. Ava flinched from across the room, and he immediately regretted the volume. Marcus's jaw tightened. You built this empire by staying focused, Ethan. I did what was best for you. Ethan's lips curled into something colder than anger. No, you did what was best for you. Get out of my office, and don't come back. Marcus opened his mouth, then shut it, leaving without another word. The rest of the day passed in fragments. He found himself watching Ava more than his laptop screen. The way she traced the grain of the wood table with her tiny fingers. The way she hummed quietly while drawing on a scrap of printer paper. When Sophia stepped out to take a phone call, Ava looked up at him. Do you have any toys here? Ethan almost laughed. His office was designed for negotiation, not play. But then he remembered the limited edition Rubik's Cube he kept in a drawer as a stress tool. This might be too tricky, he said, handing it over. 2 minutes later, Ava had solved it. Without looking up, she casually twisted it again into chaos and started over. Ethan blinked. Who taught you that? No one, she said with a shrug. It's just patterns. For the first time in years, Ethan felt something unfamiliar and unsettling. Pride. Real pride. Not the kind you feel from profit margins. Sophia re-entered just as Ava finished her second solve. Told you she's exceptional, she said softly. Ethan's chest tightened. What else have I missed? By evening, the three of them were in the penthouse, an awkward arrangement Sophia insisted was temporary. I'm not here to stay, she reminded him. I came because Ava deserves to know the truth before it's too late. Before it's too late for what? Ethan asked. Sophia hesitated. Ethan, someone's been following us. The words chilled the room. She pulled out her phone, showing blurry photos of a black SUV parked outside Ava's school 3 days in a row. I don't know who they are, but I know they're connected to someone in your world. And I thought, If anyone could protect her, it would be you. Ethan leaned back, connecting the dots. The sudden resurfacing of Sophia, Marcus's sabotage, and now, surveillance. Someone didn't want this reunion to happen. And it wasn't just about pride or money. It was about control. He glanced at Ava, who was now curled up on the sofa with her teddy, oblivious to the storm gathering around her. Whoever's behind this, Ethan said quietly. They just made the biggest mistake of their lives. Ethan wasn't the kind of man who panicked. But as he stood at his floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the city lights blink in the distance, he found himself scanning every dark alley and rooftop. That SUV wasn't a coincidence. The next morning, he told Sophia to stay in the...
Her face paled. Then we're not safe here. That night, when Ava was asleep, Sophia stood by the glass balcony doors, arms wrapped tightly around herself. "Ethan, you're not hearing me," she said. "This isn't just about someone spying, it's about why they're spying." Ethan stepped closer. "Then tell me." Sophia turned, eyes fierce. "When Ava was born, I didn't just have to protect her from your absence. I had to protect her from your enemies. You think your mergers and takeovers didn't make you targets? There are people who would hurt a child just to get leverage over you." His stomach churned. He'd known the corporate world could be ruthless, but the idea of it bleeding into his daughter's life made his blood run cold. "Why come now?" he asked. "Because," she said, voice breaking for the first time, "they found us again. And this time, they know she's yours." Ethan's mind shifted from disbelief to decision in seconds. Then they're going to learn something else. No one touches my family. Outside, lightning cracked across the sky, and somewhere in the city, the black SUV reappeared, waiting.